Josh Sterry. We are in Madison, Wisconsin at Chosen Few Fight Gym. I'm 28 years old. I am a full-time fireman and a professional fighter. Found myself kind of doing the same thing over and over again every day at the gym. I came from a strong wrestling background since I was 7 years old, and I had a cousin that fights out of Denver, and I thought it would be a good idea to get into with my wrestling background and something to focus on and really dedicate some good hard training to. Last fight was April 22nd, Combat USA, the state championships, which I was given an opportunity, a once-in-a-life opportunity to step into this position and fight for the state championship against Josh Casey. Everything was falling into place, and I was very fortunate and excited about this fight because I was already training very hard for Clay Conrad, and a completely different fighter than Josh Casey, but nevertheless I was ready, I was prepared, and to go in there and win this fight. It didn't come the way that I wanted it to. There's a big controversy. I was really disappointed in that because we both trained so hard for that fight. You know, when the illegal knee happened, you know, at the time I was watering, I wanted to continue to fight. The doctor came in and said, no, we can't fight. And that's kind of when it really sunk into me. It's like, oh my God, you know, I didn't want this belt to end this way, and I know Josh didn't either, so, you know, I was very disappointed. And it's really difficult for me to carry that belt around and be proud, you know, because it didn't come the way that I wanted it to. But nonetheless, you know, here I am. I'm representing the state of Wisconsin and for the national championship, and I'm coming to fight and I'm coming to win. Training session for me starts probably around 8 a.m. and the first training session of the day will start at Hybrid Fitness, where I do all my strength and conditioning with two really good training partners of mine, Tony Rook and Tyler Hellenbrand. And we go through some pretty extensive 5-minute round trainings with elevation mass, different things like that. And then go home, eat, get a little bit of rest, and then come back at night for our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai and wrestling classes, depending on what night of the week it is.
All 3 years that he's been training, I've been training with him. He's matured a lot, grown a lot as a fighter.
He's progressed so fast in just plain technique. When he first started here, he used all his natural ability, which he had a lot to come in with, but since he started learning, it's been progressing.
Every part of his game has come tenfold since 3 years ago. It's been amazing to see the transformation that he's made.
It's a big difference for me because it's five rounds, seeing as it's a championship fight. 10 minutes is a huge difference when you're in that cage, and so we're trying to get our cardio up as high as we can, and you know, so we can show up and put on a good showing.
He's going to be ready to go 35 minutes by the time fight night comes. We've been working every little facet of his game plan, and it's all going to come together.
Outside of the gym, I'm a full-time fireman for the City of Madison Fire Department, and originally, you know, that is my passion, that is my career, that's you know, what I wanted to be. You know, in high school I discovered that that's what I wanted to be, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, as much as I love fighting, my career as a fireman is very important to me.
It's his drive to compete, and yeah, that's what motivates him, and that is used here. When I pull up to a house that's on fire, I want Josh Sterry in my corner, because we're going to have to get knocked down a number of times before we stop attempting to put that fire out. So, needless to say, you better have passion for life or you're going to get knocked down. That was Josh Sterry when he came to me.
Endurance, cardio, his willingness to fight anytime, anywhere, his constant go attitude. You know, he comes in the gym ready, prepared every night. It means everything. For the past 3 years, it seems like he's been training for this point in time. So, you know, every other previous fight doesn't matter. You know, this is the one fight that does, so he's going to put everything into this fight.
Don't underestimate me. It's, you know, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. That's a big thing with me. A lot of people say, you know, he's a nice guy, he does this, he does that, whatever. But, you know, when that cage door closes, you know, you're not my friend at that point. You know, at the end of that 15 or 25 minutes, I'm going to shake your hand and I'm going to be your friend, but for that 15 to 25 minutes, I'm not your friend. You know, I'm your worst enemy, and that's it. Mentally, big time. I just think that I can overcome so many things. I don't fight off emotion. You know, I don't talk the smack that a lot of people do. I don't get into that. You know, I focus all my energy on my training, and just, you know, I have a job to do, and at the end of the day, that's what I'm prepared for. And we've got a great, solid game plan. If we stick to that, we will be victorious at the end of the night.